Hello everyone, welcome to MJ Hobby Corner. I'm MJ here. I'll be your host for this not too long video. And this is going to be my last MJ Gaming Spotlight of 2021. And of course we will resume in 2022. So for my last spotlight, for those of you that don't know what my MJ Spotlight is, it's basically I take a game randomly from my gaming library and I go over it, and just go over the rules a little bit. It's supposed to be very laid back. I don't go heavily into strategy or things like that, but I basically go over the core mechanics of the game. And just recently I started adding what miniatures I may use for that game. Most of these games will be miniature agnostic, so I give ideas on miniatures, terrain. If I can, I add a sample turn or two to the spotlight just to give an idea of how the game works. So I'm not sponsored by anybody, by any of the companies of the games that are put on the spotlight. They're simply a way for me to geek out a little bit with you guys and talk some rules. And hopefully it will be useful for newer gamers in one way, shape, or form. So basically anything I say is my opinion only, and that's just there. There you go. That's basically the MJ Gaming Spotlight. So for today, and to end the year, I thought that I would talk a little bit about one-page rules, new expansion, the Grimdark Firefight Gang Wars. And so this is a new expansion that I purchased off of Wargame Vault, and it's an interesting expansion. Now it's a short little book. It's like 24 pages. So the game design is by Gaetano Ferrara. I hope I didn't butcher that. I'm sorry. That is the author of the little rule set, and illustrations are by Brandon Gillum. So there's like nice little black and white illustrations throughout the little booklet, and it is by Brandon Gillum. So whatever I show, I don't own any of that. It's all OPR. So never mind the cats, by the way. They're in the office today. Their food's in here, so they're just hanging out. Okay, so basically what you are getting with this expansion are a series of campaign rules. So you can play the game in a series of linked campaigns. It has more rules and tables for post-game, right? Rules for XP, and rewards after a game. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it certainly gives the core rules. It expands the ability to play in campaign mode. So if you really like narrative play, it's a very good little expansion because it will give you those extra tables. The city fight, obviously this is themed around gang wars and city fight in the Grimdark setting. So basically that's what you're going to be playing. But you can definitely use a lot of the rules in here even if you're not playing gang wars, and use them in your games of Grimdark. Just kind of, and vice versa. So it's a good little expansion in that sense. So I'm going in order here through the book as I see it, some of the things that I want to say about it. So you have new missions. You have a few new missions, which is good. One of them, for example, Mastery. The gang must have only one friendly unit standing in each table quarter at the end of the match. That kind of caught my eye. So you are going to have new missions that you can use to play in the gang war setting. So that's cool. And as you guys know, those of you guys that play one-page rules, you know that there are mission cards that you can play as well to add more flavor to your games. So this is kind of similar to that, this little section, and this is on page 5 of the book. The post-game sequence, again, you're going to have more rules on earning experience, checking for casualties, So after a game, you're going to roll all your models that were knocked out, and there is a little table to check for casualties of regular units and casualties of heroes. Hero skills, you have new hero skills, and there's like skills related to acrobacy, guardian, and brawler. These are kind of like major categories, it seems like, and then you roll your die randomly, and you get one of the skills in those categories. So that's pretty cool. Always good to have new skills and stuff. And there's one full page on new skills, upgrading your gangs. It goes through that. And then you have a Hive City Armory, which caught my attention as well, because again, this adds to Grimdark. And so you have like cybernetics, you have explosives like AT grenades, and gas grenades and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. It adds a little extra boom tools to your armory. So that's pretty cool. And then there's territory control, which the territory rules, I guess, that are added here, they allow you to play the campaign with a more advanced like reward system, as it says in the book. So scoring is then handled based on the territory that your gangs win in the game. So again, that gives it sort of a new kind of twist. You can capture territories. You have special territories now, so it throws you into like wasteland territories, underground territories, industrial territories. So basically, this will also give you an idea on how to set up your table too. If you want to play like a wasteland territory game, with collapsed buildings and that kind of thing, maybe that's where your gangs operate. That's cool. You can also play in residential areas. So it throws about a lot of ideas that you could definitely use to expand your games. There is a very interesting mechanic that caught my eye, territory exploration, where your heroes, after the game, can actually be sent to like spy on your opponent's territories, and there's a table system for that, and I thought that was interesting too. And then you have to roll to see if your hero gets caught, and if he gets caught, then your opponent can actually like demand a ransom for you to get him back. So that was actually pretty interesting. I like that. Your gang missions, duels, seize ground, relic hunt, this is actually very similar to the core rulebook. Also, if you look at the city fight section, the city fight page is the same page that you see in the core rulebook as well. The page that you see in this expansion is the same exact thing. So, it would have been nice if they had like something a little different in the city fight section for this book, something that's not the same as what you see in the core rules, because you're going to be using the core rules for this anyway. So it would have been nice if there was like something different, not the same exact kind of thing that you're going to see in the core rules. But there is gang missions now, attack and defend missions. That's pretty cool. And again, the city fight section is the same exact thing as far as I can see with the Grimdark rules, core rules. And that's Grimdark Firefight, by the way. Hazardous terrain, this is cool. You get like alien nests. That really caught my eye. So you can have hazardous terrain on your tables. That's very cool. And I think Grimdark Firefight, the Patreon version or the full rules version, does give you hazardous terrain as well. Critical hits, I think that's pretty much the same thing. I don't see, well, you have a few different things here in this book. So random events, you're going to go there. There's a lot of different random events, so that's pretty cool. That's going to give you a lot of flavor to the game. And then after your random events, you go right into your sheets. So it gives you your record sheets for your games. So basically, in a nutshell, that's it. You're getting a campaign series of campaign rules and tables that you can use in your games, whether you're playing Gang Wars or your regular Grimdark games. So, pretty cool. Okay, so in this section, I'm going to talk a little bit about the models and the terrain that I will be using for this game. And if you have any Necromunda models, definitely that will be very useful in this expansion. Um, and then you will be using some of the older Malifaux figures. These were the metallics from edition 1.5. And some of these really have that sort of dark, gritty kind of theme that you would be looking for a Gang Wars game. In Dark Age Apocalypse, I have quite a few of the Forsaken. These also have a very kind of gang-like look to them. They are religious zealots, after all. So yeah, some of these will also make their way into Julie's Battle Sister army. But I think that Dark Age Apocalypse kind of has the theme, the gritty taste that Gang Wars, would portray. So the other thing is for terrain, any kind of sci-fi building, like this one here and this one. So I will be making a few more buildings, I think. There's also ruins, like ruined buildings, any kind of like vehicles. I may be making more vehicles for my city terrain. And this is an example of a really busted up building. So yeah, all those things would go great in a Gang Wars city fight setting. So obviously the models and the terrain are very subjective. It depends on basically your tastes as a gamer. The point I was trying to make is you don't necessarily have to use 40K models if you don't have them. There's a lot of other flavors that you can add, right? A lot of you can use other manufacturers, other kinds of models. Mantic Games is another one that I didn't mention, but their sci-fi range for like Dead Zone and Warpath, they also have a lot of cool models that could be used for this game. And very important to mention, so I don't forget, is that I can't really consider OPR being miniature agnostic anymore. They do have a range of miniatures that they produce, 3D printed miniatures. I don't know very much about them, so I can't say very much about them, but from what I've seen, they look very cool. If any of you have purchased any of the like 3D printed models, or you have a 3D printer and you've tried their models, let me know in the comments. I'd be curious. So they do have their own kind of little miniatures range as well, despite the fact that they still tell you, use whatever miniatures you want. So they do give that option. So I just wanted to mention that. So web support is something new that I'm adding to my spotlights. And basically, what do I mean by web support? I just mean like, are there any YouTube videos, Facebook groups, Discord blogs, anything like that where a new player just coming into OPR can get information, can get inspiration, where you can kind of show off your stuff, maybe give other people inspiration. And that's what I mean by web support. And judging by the fact that OPR, one page rules, has become a lot more popular these days, I think. And that's because there are YouTube videos out there, there are battle reports and things that you can definitely check out in other channels to really, get a sense of what the game is like. And I'm sure Gang Wars will have its own battle reports out there. We will definitely do some work with this game. Yeah, so, and again, if you want to play this solo, you just use the AI for Grimdark Firefight. You can adapt it very easily to Gang Wars, and bah, you have a solo Gang Wars game. In fact, I will probably do that in one of my solo games. So, all right, folks, well, that's it. It's got pretty good reviews if you look at Wargames Vault, you know. So pretty good by the number of stars that I see there. So again, nice, and I hope that this has been helpful in some way, shape, or form. And we will definitely have some games. Gang Wars will probably appear on one of the polls for next year, and people can choose whether or not they want to see a game of that. In any case, Julie and I will probably play at the end of the month after the polls, play a game of this just to have it documented on the channel. All right, folks, have a great one. I don't want to go on blabbering. Today is December 22nd. Happy holidays to everyone. This is probably today, Wednesday, is the last day that I have to do anything in the studio. We got to do some last minute shopping. So, guys, you take care. Be very, very safe. And I'll see you after the holiday, before the new year. We'll have some more end of year material for you guys. Have a great one. Talk very soon.